Hey ladies and gents, it's Zem back, and we are doing the review on the Kostikov 302 Tier 7 jet fighter. This is the plane of the week, apparently. It is in the premium shop for sale. Yeah, I bought this years ago in 1.9, it was quite the machine. What it was, this plane actually did exist. Obviously not in its current form. When you read up about it and whatnot, it was an attempt to develop a high-speed, high-performance fighter plane that could be easily produced and whatnot. So essentially, what this plane was going to have was two ramjets and a rocket. From what I understand and what I've read about it, there was a lot of feet dragging. There was a lot of politics involved, and I just never got around to being completely finished. I mean, the prototypes are built. I believe two of them were finished. They finished wind tunnel tests and whatnot, and it was actually flight tested as a glider before it was eventually canceled. The later versions they were actually going to remove, and you can actually see it on the bottom down here. We're going to remove the ramjet engines and just use the rocket plane. So a bit similar to the German rocket plane. So yeah, not really. Like I said, it was an X-plane, but they were built, they were tested, they were found to be very. They had very good handling. Yeah, it was an interesting design. So like I said, it was ramjets. Then it was actually going to be, with a rocket and ramjets, and then it was just going to be the rocket propelled fighter. And even that's what we have in game here. Is we have the two ramjets and a rocket in the ass end of this plane. What do we have in game? Well, what we have in game is 4 20mm on this plane. Yeah, these are. They're pretty decent guns. They overheat fairly quickly, so you have to be kind of careful. You have to be feathering the trigger quite often on this plane. They do have some decent range. I mean, I don't like them as much as like the 23mm, but this does a pretty nice job. So at Tier 7, this and the Meteor are the only real jet fighters. There is the Yak 3RD, which does have a also has a rocket engine, but propeller driven. So yeah, this and the Meteor are really actually the only two jet propulsion at Tier 7. So what does this thing? So what does that give? I mean, this gives us ungodly altitude performance at Tier 7. There isn't a lot of things you can't outclimb rather easily. The boost rebuilds very quickly, and when you do use the boost, this thing just takes off, and like literally, because it has a rocket in its ass, straight up. Not very maneuverable, obviously, but for the most part, not too bad. And I'm going to actually look it up here and see what on the tech tree what it has for its main competitor at this level, which of course would be the Meteor. That's the only thing that can be really relatively, comparable to. Same airspeed. The Meteor one's a little bit more maneuverable, but check out the altitude performance between the two of them. This thing has no problem getting up to RB-17 type altitude. I think in one of the videos I think it was at 38 or 3,900 meters with this aircraft. Yeah, so not bad, not too shabby at all. This thing, like I said, accelerates very quickly. It's just it is your zoom and boom plane. Don't get in a dogfight with it. Play the altitude game. Stay up high. Which thing does very well because of its, like I said, very quick boost reload. Once you get up there, it doesn't take much, matter of 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and you're back to a full boost burn. You only get 6 seconds, if I remember correctly. But with those 6 seconds, this thing accelerates well over 500 kilometers an hour. pretty quickly. Even in a almost vertical climb, it can do it. For the most part, if you like these type of planes, this is a definite 2 thumbs up. This plane, at 7, seeing 6s, it just dominates. It was one of those planes even in 1.9 that was pretty damn nice. It had extreme, like I said, the altitude performance in 1.9 or pre 2.0 was very good. In the conquest mode, once again, you have the altitude performance to really just dominate airspaces. If you play it like we talk about heavy fighters, that's what you're going to play this as, kind of like a heavy fighter anyway. Stay at altitude, pick your targets, drop down on light fighters, do your zoom and boom, get back up to altitude. Kind of light in the shorts for HP and damage dealing when you're dealing with like bombers. And I dicked around with it a few times in the game here just to show you what I was talking about with, like, when I was shooting at bombers. It does require quite a while to take one down, especially with the how fast the 20s heat up on this thing. But like I said, with the zoom and boom, dealing with those, dealing with heavy fighters, they have no fucking chance in hell. They can't outturn you, and for the most part, they definitely can't outrun you, and they usually don't have the altitude to even come close to dealing with you. So yeah, maybe I should say this is one of the ultimate heavy fighter hunters, and then of course you can add in the fact that incredible speed, incredible climb. I just can't give enough fun times you have in this plane. So I'm going to bring up the review for you guys and give you guys kind of a general. And I'm doing it during invasion, so it's like it's not quite as fun as it would be in a normal conquest mode. I run reflector sights, improved covering 2, and actually the improved radiator. This probably get changed out, and most of the fact is since they have to cut it back to being 0 throttle, it doesn't work like it did 1.0. And like I said, I haven't played this thing before since 2.0 came out, so yeah, that's probably going to get changed. For my pilot skills, running the Engine Guru and the Marksman 1, these 20s are kind of a little bit all over the place. It helps a little bit, try to get them in line and whatnot. So for the most part, yeah, it's a fun plane to play. I give it 2 thumbs up. If you like these kind of planes, I'm not. When I say 2 thumbs up, you have to have a definitive play style with this aircraft, and if you're not familiar with it, you're not gonna like it. If you like that zoom and boom, the high altitude, if you're talking about P-51s and those kind of planes where you don't turn real fast, but you have great altitude performance, BF-109s, that kind of stuff, you're gonna like this kind of plane. If you don't like that, if you like the turn and burn kind of plane, you're not gonna play with a BF-109. If you like the turn and burn, you wait till the Yak 3RD comes back out, and then you can get the rocket powered plus turn and burn. But for the most part, the 302, this plays like a typical energy fighter. So I'm gonna bring up the gameplay for you guys, and you guys can check it out. Alright guys, back with the first game in the 302. I don't really care for this mode, but we're gonna fucking play it. Yeah, heading to the center. Like I said, 6 seconds of boost. But when you lay into those rockets, the ramjets, wow, look at that. Accelerate very quickly. Very quickly, you're already up to speed. Like I said, with the quick reload on its boost, you can get to altitude pretty quickly. We're already at 2,300 meters here. Climbing to get a little bit higher. I got some. We're gonna get up here at 2,500 meters here, and we're gonna start picking on some heavy fighters when I do eventually find them. For some reason, this is one of those games that didn't have any bombers in them. Lots of GAs. I don't know if that was the changes they made in it or what. So I'm kind of loitering here just to pick out some targets here. I thought about dropping down here, but those are nothing but GAs, and most of them are down on the ground. So I really fuck it. I'm going to pull over here. So I got the ME410. They already picked up that one pretty quickly. So we're just going to boost right on in here, put a couple shells into him, up and over. ME410 is a pretty quick aircraft, but not that quick. Pick up the fire on him, and I'm going to pick down on this IL-10 who's coming in rather high. He stayed right around that kind of coming up, and then he's going to dive back down. I pick him up, put a couple shells into him. You can notice, like I said earlier in the garage, how quickly the cannons on this thing heat up. Like I said, very quickly. So yeah, I mean, you can get a good 300-400 damage pass in if you get all the shells to hit. But after that, like I said, it starts to heat up and makes it a little more difficult to finish off some targets, especially if you have some large HP targets here. And I'm just showing you here, this is more of a defense right now, trying to keep these. I believe they had 4 GAs, a pretty good chunk. So I'm down here a little bit lower than I usually play, but like I said, with nothing at altitude, I'm forced to come down here. Pick up another chunk of damage on him. I got these GAs all kind of moving in here real slow. We're just going to keep picking them up. I just cannot give, like I said, with this aircraft, I'm sitting there at well over 500 kilometers an hour. Putting in as many cannon shells as I can before, of course, I have a couple human players with me here, and they're wrecking shit left and right. So pick up the rest of the GAs coming in here in the bottom. This is going to be a relatively short game. This happens when you do have a decent team. This is one of the problems I have with this mode. You get a bunch of good players on one team. Besides the spawn camping and all that kind of stuff that you'll see, it gets pretty ridiculous. So make my pass. I'm not sticking around here. I'm going to pull up here on the A7M, accelerate right toward him, well over 600, 700 kilometers, so quick. Start aiming a little bit early on him. Try to get as many as I can in. Keep on rolling. Yeah, pick up the A7M. So got me the F4U4. He's coming through here. I don't know if he decided to quit or what, but get a couple shells into him before he passes away into the night. Start boosting straight up here. Almost 800 kilometers with this thing. So quick. Get in behind the P-47. Yeah, it doesn't take long with those 20s when they're hitting. Boost straight up, 2,000 meters easily. Flip back over, pick up the F7F coming in here. Yeah, let's see what we can do with you, buddy. Get some shells in on him. Finish off the F7F. Yeah, this plane can go anywhere it wants. You want to go altitude, put her in straight up in the air, hit the boost, and just go. You want to stay flat on the ground and do 800 plus kilometers an hour, no problem. So we got this pretty much well in hand. Like I said, this is going to be a relatively short game. I just wanted to show you some of the flight abilities of this aircraft and what it can do. Pick up a couple quick damage on that one, pulling on this one. We're just going to keep working him slowly but surely. And then that's kind of the problem with this invasion here. It's hard to rack up a real high score in there. I think I ended up with 70. Alright guys, back with the second game, and it's a tier 8 match, so I'm down a tier. Well, that's alright, because like you said, with this aircraft, you're not really ever down tiered. Start boosting up, heading up above 2,000 meters. Got some bombers and whatnot, and like I said, I kind of threw a little bit in everything in here when I was trying to play this plane. I typically probably wouldn't go after too many bombers, especially on RB-17s in this thing. But I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea what this thing can do at altitude and whatnot. Kind of give you some of the limitations of it, especially with its guns. Pull up in here, sitting about 2,600 meters right now. Climbing up here. The RB-17s are climbing up here. We got Nikita here. We're going to put him some shells into him quick. Flip up and over. 3,000 meters, no problem. Pull back over. Yeah, let's see if we can finish off Nikita. Start putting some shells into the Nikita. Yeah, finish him off. And you noticed how quickly this thing overheats. So pull back over. 3,100 meters. Yeah, no problem. You know, if you're really into, if you really like to hunt fighters or heavy fighters and bombers, this is probably one of the better planes to do it with. Obviously, it's not a heavy fighter or a multi-role. You know, it's just a straight up light fighter. So yeah, you do take quite a bit of damage. You'd probably take a lot more, obviously, with a human pilot, because you know, they're going to have the better crew. So finish him off. Got the J4M. There's my other rocket plane you have to deal with. He's just going all out. But you do, I mean, you don't quite have his altitude performance, but you can stay up here pretty well against him. You do have a little bit, in my opinion, better firepower than that Japanese plane with the 420s compared to his 230s. He's got a hit, you know, pretty well to get you. So pick up the J4M. He's coming around. He wants to go ahead, or J8M. I'm not the J4M. I don't know why I keep saying that. And you can see here, I'm in the red at 3,500 meters, but I'm still able to move around fairly easy when I got the boost on. So here comes the RB-17, and we're just going to see what you're up to here, buddy. That's a human pilot, so I'm not terribly interested in going head to head with him. Yeah, he went total as high as he can possibly go. So I'm not quite able to. So you're about 3,900 meters. I think if I really tried, I could probably get it up to 4,000 meters. But you can see at about 3,800, 3,700, it starts to really dog out. And I'm not going to spend the time and effort trying to get up that high just to finish him off. So I'm going to drop back down here and start finding some other targets here. Yeah, like I said, for Tier 7, that's just ridiculous. Some really ridiculous LT performance. So pick up the XF5U. You ever get tired of them planes? This thing can keep up with an XF5U pretty well. You have the boost and you have the speed. I mean, you can see there, I'm almost hit 900 kilometers an hour with this thing. So yeah, real nice. The 20s, not quite, like I said, not quite the range of the 23 millimeters that the Russians mount, but you know, good enough. We're gonna see if we can pick up the J8M one more time. See where he's going. Put a couple shells into him. We're not gonna let him get away though, because ooh, he is a fast little bugger. Flip up and over. Got the Falkwolf coming in here. Still playing, like I said, that 1,600, you know, 2,000 meters. You keep your, like I said, keep your altitude up, dive down, do your damage, knock planes out. I mean, it's pretty much a bread and butter, a high altitude kind of plane. You know, and what's nice about this plane, even if you do drop down below, say, 1,000 meters, it doesn't take long for you to get back up to 2,000 meters, especially with that quick reload. With its boost, you can drop down here, take a few targets out, and then immediately start boosting back up to altitude. Hit the boost. You can obviously, like I said, obviously see the number, the speed, and how quickly it gains back up to altitude. So I'm not going to chase the F4U. I had a LA7 doing that here, but I have Eli coming in here with the X5. We're going to see if we can put some shells into him. There we go. Up and over. Boost is almost reloaded before I hit it. Yeah, keep right on his tail. Back up to 2,000 meters real quick. You know, and I'm not really losing that much airspeed, especially when I hit the boost with that rocket engine. It doesn't take long to boost right back up to altitude. And like I said, you notice it does turn like a rock. That's of course just the way. that's just what you get when you the fact that you are with the altitude performance that you have. Hey, it's a trade-off, right? You don't need necessarily to turn and burn when you can play nothing but the energy game. Flick back over on the Falkwolf. They finish him off. Another bomber up high here. Boost back up again. We got the P1056 Elijah. We're going to see what we can do with him. Back to 2,000 meters. I'm just going to see if I can jump on him as he comes around. Yeah, there you go, buddy. See if I can put a few rounds into him. For some reason, this was kind of a laggy, weird. You can replay for some reason. His sound seems to be a little bit off too. Pick him up. Didn't get a chance to finish him off, and pick up the other X5U that's coming in here. Like I said, with the boost, you can stay on the pancake as long as you want. Pick him up, put a few more shells into him, catch him as he's in the climb, start boosting back up again, and I pick up the the Elijah again. Oh shit, he's coming in straight on. We'll see what we can do. Apparently they have dialed the bots up to dick level. You can notice here I actually did pick the nose up and try to avoid it. He just ran right into me anyway. So yeah, if you haven't played this game in this mode yet, like I said, the bots have been turned up to dick level. You're just gonna have to deal with it until we go back to Conquest. We've pretty much got this game over with. Lots of quick games. Like I said, unfortunately, like I said, the problem with the defense and all these other ones is you don't get a whole lot of time, especially if you get shot down. You're talking, seems to be about a 4 to 5 minute game, usually over pretty quickly. So climb back up to altitude, still, there we go. Hit the boost. Yeah, no problem. Looking around, got the J8Ms, the only plane left. Yeah, we're pretty much over with. So yeah, I didn't end up with once again, not too bad on here, about 6,000 or so combat score. Alright, last game in the 302. Once again on the defense side. And yeah, I think this was actually the first game of the night. I haven't played or really want to play defense mode. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's late here. Yeah, I don't really like the defense mode, so I was kind of hard pressed to produce the video during this event, but that's all right. We're up to 2,200 meters. Boost back up here. We got the bombers, and that's kind of what I'm going to go after. And then this is kind of like to show you what I was talking about earlier, how this thing really lacks the necessary firepower. I mean, yeah, the 420s are great, but they overheat very quickly. And when you're dealing with a bomber that has a fair amount of firepower on its own from the rear, especially 3. I had actually at this point I completely blocked it out, the fact that I was following 3 bombers. This is not a good position to be in. This should have been a dive to the deck and not fuck around with these guys, but hey, I'm trying to do a video here. Pulling on the RB-17. So like I said, this is what I'm talking about with the constant wait for this the 420s to cool off. Pull back over, pick up the J4M, do a little head-on with him. I thought for sure I was going to get fucked because, like I said, bots dialed up to dick level. Yeah, I thought he's going to probably set me on fire and all that kind of stuff. Pick another pass at him. Turn back around here and see if I can pick him up before he gets away. Not quite enough turn on him. He boosts away, gives me his side. I will get you yet, you little fuck. One way or another, the J8M is going to die. 3,200 meters, no problem. Um, Pick up the J8M, knock him out. And now we're kind of doing a little bit of a spawn camp here. Yeah, like I said, once again, with this level of altitude, you get to dictate where you're going to go and what you're going to do. Drop in, finish off the heavy, and I didn't really lose that much altitude, so I'm able to get back up to 2,500 meters pretty quick. Boost back up, let my health rebuild a little bit here, and I got another RB-17 coming in. We're gonna, I just can't, I mean, just look how fast this thing climbs, how quick it is. Altitude, it's got everything you want in a energy fighter. Pick up the RB-17, slowly but surely. Now we are sitting relatively nice here. We've knocked out enough of their planes that they're going to be having respawn problems here pretty quick. So I'm going to stick right around. I said I wouldn't get above, I believe the red was like 32 or 3,300 meters. So, you know, if you stay below that, you'll have no problems. Pick up the RB-17 again, coming in, put a pretty good chunk of lead into him. He's diving. I don't really want to go after chase him anymore too much, considering there's 4 planes all over him. GA's down below, and I got another RB-17 coming in. They apparently seem to be the plane of choice for this mode. Put a shell into him, up and over, boost through that shit. Yeah, 33, 32, no problem. Start putting some shells in the RB-17. He's got other shit to shoot at, so I'm not feeling too bad. Slowly but surely, you know, and that's one of the big downfalls. You know, and I'm not going to complain. 420s are always nice, but that firepower is a little weak, in my opinion, when it comes to the fact that you have to they heat up so quickly. But like I said, I'll still give this thing 2 thumbs up. If you like the energy fighter game, if you like to play the energy fighter, this is actually pretty nice aircraft to learn. If you're looking for a premium plane, you know, to kind of learn how to play it, this does it well. So pick up the XP. He's burning through here pretty quick. Boost, 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 and I'm right on his tail. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Down below, pick up the other airplanes coming in. I got a F2 on my tail. He knocks out my engine, and we're gonna pull back up. Looking around, looking around, looking around. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. You give me a little bit more of your give me a little bit more of your wing and sides. The only time really he gets to pull away from me is, of course, when he's on the boost. I think flat out speed, I think this thing would probably have it. At least I'm guessing. I can't say for for certain, but I think in just a flat out flight, I'm going to be able to stick with him. So start looking for targets of opportunity. F2G, he gets taken out by the bots. Pick back up here. I got the RB-17 coming in. Yeah, let's see if we can put some more damage into him. And that kind of seems to be the real big thing about this, is try to keep these bombers suppressed. Got another RB-17 coming in. I'm not going to go chase him down. Ooh, there we go. Get a nice burst into him before it overheats. And the 20s do, I mean, they do cool off fairly quickly, just not, in my opinion, that quickly. So pick him up. He's got a better tail gunner than most of the bots do, so I'm just going to get pummeled, so I'm not going to dick with him. Pull away before I lose my complete health, and start looking around for another target. Start boosting up here. See if I can pick up the XP. Oh, they got him already. So now we just got a bunch of bombers to deal with. Ooh, pick up an I-250. He's down a little bit low for me, but hey, that's alright. I don't really feel like going all the way down there. Pick up the other RB-17. He's going over the top. Our heavy fighter finishes him off. And now I'm just kind of looking for a lot of targets of opportunity. And he's back again. I swear these fucking bots get better spawn. Yeah, they seem like they spawn in every 10 seconds. Put a few more shells in them, 3,200 meters. Yeah, time to pull around. Got the F2G coming in. He's going head to head, and he's also climbing. So I'm looking for that point where he's going to stall out. Or if he's not going to stall out, attempt to. Yeah, there he goes. Now he's going to start attempt to do the climb thing, which is meaning he's going to be losing airspeed. And gives me a nice shot from the rear here. So let's see here. You know, and that's actually one of the other problems with this aircraft. You do spend a lot of times on the air brakes and the flaps. Because of its speed, it's pretty easy to overshoot, which I just about did here with the F2G. Come back around, see if we can finish him off. There we go. Now we got him. So put me up about 6K for that. We got the I-260 coming in. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, but hey, you know what? We'll see what we can do. He actually misses me, and we go into somewhat of a strange dance of death. He's down low, he's up high. Now I'm up, now I'm low. We fuck around like this for a while. Eventually, he will die. They all die in the end, right? Pull around on him. Yeah, wow. He's a crafty devil. Pull the other way. I thought maybe he was going to straighten out, but nope, he didn't. And back around. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Try and get my flaps on him. There he goes. Unfortunately, ME-262 goes nose to nose with him. So yeah, not really a great idea. Excuse me. So sitting at about 6,400 combat score. Not too bad. Not terrible great, but not too bad. Yeah, you know, the game's almost over with here. We just have the one RB-17 to finish off, and it'll be game over. So, in my opinion, fun aircraft. You like the